Hi, I'm Danielle Schiel. I'm here to discuss our Module 4 assignment where we had to look at the Kansas Framework for Learning rubrics. There's a couple of things that I want to point out that I think had an effect on how we landed on our rubrics. And the first one being that my principal that I met with, Scott Hodgson, he is actually moving from athletic director slash assistant principal to the principal position in the fall. He was in that position for 4 years, so he has a lot of background knowledge about our school and our district, but we are having a leadership transition happening this fall. So also we are combining our middle school and high school buildings into one brand new building over winter break. So over the past couple of years, our district has been having a lot of conversations about how that transition is going to work, how it's going to affect our curriculum, and a lot of the expectations about community collaboration. So I think that as we were looking at our rubrics and how we landed on those rubrics, that piece was brought up a lot. So I'm going to start off talking about my principal, Scott Hodgson. I would describe him as a participative leader. He's really great about saying, I'm not the expert in everything, so let's find people who are experts and bring them in and have them help us work through this decision-making process. Whether that includes teachers, students, school board members, business owners, community members, you name it, he's brought them in and has them work through that decision-making process with him. And I really appreciate that about him because he brings people who know what they're talking about to the table. So overall, we rated ourselves at transitioning. And again, mostly that has to do with we have a lot of great things in place. We're doing really great work with our CTE programs, with our curriculum, with our professional development, but there's definitely more that we could do, and we are striving and working towards that. So we started off talking about the responsive culture rubric, and we actually rated ourselves at modeling in that aspect. With the new building, there's been a lot of evaluating of the vision for the district, a lot of work being done with curriculum and community collaboration. So in that aspect, we rated ourselves at modeling. As for relationships, we rated our building at transitioning, and that's mostly because we have a division of staff members. We have a lot of very experienced staff members and a lot of very new staff members. We're kind of missing that middle ground to kind of bring those two together because we know that, the new teachers, they get really excited. They have all these brand new teaching strategies, and the people who've been here for close to 20 years, they're not really down to change a whole lot. So we think that as for the staff relationships, that could be better. When we're talking about the students, family, communities, we are transitioning in that as well, mostly because of the new principal, the new building. We are not modeling at that point. Next, we looked at the relevance rubric, and we rated ourselves at transitioning. We have a pretty good CTE offering, but again, we want to add more to that. We want to continue to grow that. We also have concurrent enrollment with the community college, but we're looking at new programs that are going to be offered through that as well. As for the technology piece, we have one-to-one Chromebooks. We have personalized learning, but we're going to take it a step further, especially when we get into that new building. When we looked at rigor, overall we were transitioning. We thought that we were modeling in the data component, but we're still working on using that data to improve on our CTE and professional learning. So the two areas we decided to focus on were first relationships with staff, because if the staff doesn't work well together, that's going to affect our relationships with our students, families, and community members. And then we wanted to look at relevance with instruction, and that's going to look like more personalized learning and more CTE options. So it was really fun to get to talk to Scott about his vision for the next couple of years and get an idea of where we see ourselves going. So I had fun with this assignment.